Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you could make it back. All right. If you're new to the channel, this is Merce Montez, Mursemontez. Once again, glad you came back. Ooh, sorry. I'm going to put the laptop over. Don't want to do that. We're just finally getting things together. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, this is Merce Montez, Mursemontez. And what we do here is we talk about travel nursing. We talk about nursing in general. We talk about healthcare and fitness. If for those of you who are interested in fitness and becoming a better you, I will also be putting up things about that in the near future. So stay tuned for that. But what we're here to talk about today is, should you quit nursing? All right. All right, so should you quit nursing? I'm here to tell you that you should not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 reasons why you shouldn't, because these 3 or 4 reasons are just different things you can do in the nursing field that you may not have thought about, simply because everyone is encouraging you to get on the med-surg floor, right? I'm on the med-surg floor, and I don't mind it. But at the end of the day, for some people, that may not be what they want to do. All right, so if that's the case, I'm going to give you 4 different job opportunities that you could do as an LPN or as an RN. So let's check those out. All right, my first one I've got for you is case management. And I was going to read the description about this, but I'm kind of not really agreeing with what it says and how it phrases what case management does. So through my experience, you got to think about this. It manages your case. And so what is your case? Your case is, well, for the patient, is that they're here in the hospital. That's their case. So it manages, it helps manage when you come in through admission, what you're going to need, who you're going to use. It manages the appointments that you need, and as far as leaving the hospital and seeing other doctors, seeing other care providers such as a cardiologist or a neurologist. It helps with the scheduling those appointments. And then when you get ready to be discharged, when you're ready to leave, they need to know where you're going to go. They help in determining how long you stay. And they also help in determining whether you're going to have home health, whether you're going to need different medical equipment so that you can succeed and when you go home. All right. So if that's your thing, and if you're interested in doing that, you should look into it. All right, so the second thing I have for you is medical transcriptionist. Now, you know how to transcribe an order, right? And if you're a nurse and you're still in school, well, you've seen this from the clinical side of things and how the doctor writes an order, the nurse comes and takes the order off, right? So a medical transcriptionist is somebody that's going to do this full time. And so you can do this not only at the hospital, but you can also do this at home if you get with the right outfit. And it can be pretty, I personally feel like it would be a pretty good job to pursue if you wanted to do something at home, if you had the right outfit that you could do it at home. All right. So we've got case management, we've got medical transcriptions. All right. So let's talk about triage nursing. Now, triage nursing is generally, when you think of triage nursing, what do you think about? Well, this is when you're answering phone calls, right? But they're not just any phone calls. This is basically phone calls for the patient, pertaining to the patient, about the patient, for the patient. So it could be orders, it could be appointments, documents, just about anything that patient needs. You're answering the phone for that. Now, a lot of times you're going to see that this is done in nursing. You just don't realize it. When you're at the nursing station and you answer the phone for a patient, in a sense, that is triage nursing. Now, you could do this at home if, as I've already been saying about the other positions, you could do this at home if you have the right outfit. And if you don't mind, because this is more so like a customer service type position, even though it's from a medical standpoint. If you don't mind answering the phone and putting in that grind to transcribe the orders from the phone to paperwork or to the EMR, if that's not a problem for you, then you could definitely succeed in this position. All right, so we've got case management, we've got medical transcriptionists, we've got triage nursing. And how about this? You probably haven't thought about doing this, right? And this is going to be being a recruiter. All right, so what are you recruiting? Nurses. But not only nurses, you might be recruiting CNAs. You might be recruiting medical assistants. You might be recruiting monitor techs. You're also recruiting LPNs and RNs. Now, I myself do this, and I actually find it to be very enjoyable because you're helping people find the job that they want to be at, right? For the money that they want to have, or to get a better money package, so to speak. And so this to me is very interesting because the facility that you're with or the staffing agency that you're with, they give you a list of all the openings that they have. And so you can create advertisements on Indeed, on Monster, Career Bliss. You can put advertisements on your Facebook, on your Instagram, as long as the staffing agency is okay with that. If you have a nurse and know that they're interested, then you can take that and begin putting in their information into an application to get them signed on to work at that certain facility. Now, depending on which agency you're with, you may be with a staffing agency who offers 13-week contracts. And so when they work their 13 weeks, you get a percentage of what they make is paid out to you. So essentially, it's passive income, and that's one of the end goals. Am I right? Being able to work or being able to get paid without working. That is a smart way to do it. Now, you can also be with an agency who kind of caters to placements. And what I mean by placements is that, well, they're not necessarily working a 13-week assignment anymore. They're being placed in that facility to work permanently. Now, generally speaking, when you get a placement, that's a higher return on investment. You're actually going to get paid a lump sum. So if you find the right staffing agency, you can do pretty good and turn that into a full-time career if you wanted to. But that's just only if you want to. So what have we talked about? We talked about case management, medical transcriptionist. We talked about triage nursing. We talked about being a nursing recruiter. So if you haven't thought about those things, you might want to think about it because those are different ways that you can still be a nurse. Now, if you're worried about your skills, just kind of think about it. You're not necessarily losing skills. You're just using those skills in a different way to still bring home the bacon, so to speak, to still pay the bills, right? And so if you're okay with doing that, well, then don't think about it as a loss. Think about it as an alternative solution to fixing the problem that you may have or the burnout that you may be experiencing. So for those new nurses, yes, you do want to get experience, but once you get that experience, don't feel bad about transitioning to doing something else or doing a different or using a different skill set within your nursing career. Don't feel bad about that because nurses are needed in so many different areas, in so many different ways that you haven't even thought about. Like I've only expressed 4 different ways that you could work, but there are so many other avenues that you could work in as a nurse, whether you're an LPN or an RN. You just gotta look for them. But if you are not a nurse, you got a couple years under your belt, burnout is a real thing. 12-hour shifts are pretty long, and if you get caught up in doing 4 and 5 every single week, you will experience burnout. So don't be afraid to make those changes if you feel like those changes are needed to do something that you may consider to be better for you, especially health-wise. But that's pretty much it, you guys. That's all I had to share. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mercy Montez, MURSCMONTEZ. I'm going to continue to put up more educational videos, put up more things to encourage you, to help you to become a better version of you within the nursing care field. All right, over and out.